Hey guys, it's Scott here and welcome to the Leicester v Napoli Europa League preview. We're going to be taking a look at some of the stats going into this game, my predictions and more. So if you do enjoy it, hit the thumbs up button down below, subscribe if you are new, and also go and check out our other channels, including our main channel which is FIFA, and my Twitch channel where we stream a load of games as well. So, without further ado, let's get into this worrying and scary preview. Obviously, we had a stint in the Champions League in the 16-17 season after we did manage to win the Premier League. Still ridiculous to say that. We then dropped out of European competitions after reaching the quarter-finals of that until the season that has just gone. So in the 19-20 Premier League season, we managed to finish 5th, despite being one of the teams that stayed in the top 4 the longest in the entire season. We dropped out right at the end. We managed to get some European football. Things were looking good. We absolutely demolished the group, but then we came up against Slavia Praha. We drew the first game 0-0, really poor, and then we lost the second game 2-0. It was slightly disappointing as a Leicester fan, thinking that, okay, we may not be the best team in the competition, we may not be the favourites, but we should have got further than we did. Now, did that really have any kind of effect on us in the league? It didn't really seem to, because yet again, Leicester were in the top 4, I believe, for the longest time out of any team, and over the last 2 seasons have been in the top 4 longer than any other team, which is outrageous to say considering we finished 5th again, dropped out on the final day. Awful performance against Spurs where everything just, it was a catastrophe really. So we got into the Europa League again. Now this year the group is slightly different. It is a difficult one. We come in as pot 2, which is still okay. It means that you do avoid some of the big boys that you would have got if you were a pot 3 team, etc. But we still got one of the hardest groups in the entire tournament. So, coming in from pot 1 are today's opponents, Napoli. It's going to be absolutely terrifying. They are a fantastic team. We'll get into them in just a second. Obviously, we came in pot 2. And then the remaining 2 teams, you may think, oh, they're going to be absolutely nobodies. They're going to be people that you're going to smash. You and Napoli, top 2 in the group. Spartak Moscow and Legia Warsaw. 2 teams that do well in Europa League. And it's going to be interesting to see whether they do well in this group this year. They have some very good players. And it's scary as a Leicester fan to see those kind of names get drawn out of the hat. Fair enough, if we'd got Napoli and then we got 2 nobodies, you would have said, okay, we'll finish second, we'll take that, we'll get through to the next round. Now, it's difficult. We have to win our home games against Warsaw and Moscow. Simple as that. Otherwise, we don't really have a chance. If we can get anything out of either game against Napoli, good, because hopefully they will win their remaining games against the other teams as well. So, let's now get into more of a preview of this specific game against Napoli. So everybody knows that Napoli are obviously a fantastic team, not just locally in the league, but also in Europe. They're a team you do not want to come up against. They've got some outrageously good players, and we'll get into a couple of those in a second. But to sum up how big this fixture is, Leicester, ourselves, and Napoli are joint favourites for the competition. These were the worst team that we could have possibly drawn in our group. And of course, it happened, because why not? So it should be an absolute belter for the neutral, which is why BT has chosen it as one of their games today. But let's quickly look at Napoli this season and see how they are doing. So as you can see in the league, in Serie A, they have a perfect record so far. They have played 3 and won 3. And they are only 3rd due to goal difference. Now, to put that into perspective, the 3 teams that they have played, Venezia, who came up into the league this season, Genoa, who are a decent Italian side, and Juventus, they beat 2-1. Now, granted, Juventus are not doing that well this season, but that is only 3 games in, and that is partially due to the defeat that they got at Napoli. Some of the players in that Naples-based squad are outrageous. Lorenzo Insigne, main guy, really, at that club. Absolutely smashed it in the Euros. He's just such a talented footballer. Terrifying to watch him sprint at defenders. I am petrified of him coming up against our defence. I'm not going to lie. They've got some other absolutely incredible players as well. Now, Dries Mertens has missed the start of the season through injury and then match fitness. However, he may be able to play in this first fixture. If he does, that's scary as hell, because Mertens is... I don't watch too much of the Serie A, but through playing FIFA and stuff like that, I have watched a few games here and there. I've watched Champions League, Europa League, etc. Mertens is such a baller. Honestly, what a guy. So, I'm one of those people that if we're going to lose, I would like to see the best players play. Like if you played Barcelona 5 years ago. If you knew you were going to lose 5-0, you'd rather lose to like a Messi hat-trick rather than him being on the bench the whole time. You want to see the best players in your stadium. It makes the atmosphere even better because everyone will be up for it more. So I would love to see Mertens play. I'd love to see Insigne play. They've also got some very good other players like Osimhen, who they signed for a big fee last summer. They've got Lozano, who a lot of you may not know that much about Lozano, but he scored a great goal against Germany in the World Cup that ended up helping knock them out to get Mexico the win in that game. That was ridiculous. They've got Koulibaly at the back, who is an absolute animal. One of the most highly rated centre-backs in the world over the last few seasons. There were so many transfer links of him coming to the Premier League, potentially going to like Madrid or Barca or someone like that. He is a rock at the back. So that's just naming the tippity top of their guys. Like if you go down a level, they've still got absolute ballers. So Napoli's team is scary. Now, that's how they're doing so far. They're basically top of their league. Let's look at Leicester's side of things. So after 4 games, Leicester sit 9th in the Premier League table with 6 points. It's not the best. It's definitely not comparable to Napoli in their league, that is for sure. We have managed to beat Wolves, even though we played really poorly. We then got absolutely demolished by West Ham. All of these games that I'm about to mention, by the way, I have vlogs of them on the channel. So if you want to check it out, then you can go and look through the video section of the channel. There will be a Napoli vlog as well. We then went away and narrowly beat Norwich. That was a scary game. And then we lost to Manchester City. Bearing in mind, though, it was only 1-0, and it did take a massive deflection off of Siyunchu to then fall to Bernardo Silva for him to put it away. We actually dealt with them quite well, but it's just Man City. They brute force their way through to wins, even if it is not the nicest goal, it's pretty scrappy or something like that, they'll manage to get the job done. Unfortunately, they did. So we have come up against 2 very good teams so far this season in Man City and West Ham, who started the season very, very well. But 6 points out of 12, not great. Now, in terms of injuries for this game, we actually have a few players back. And so the only proper injuries that we have for this game are Fofana, obviously, who is out for, we don't even know how long at this stage, probably still 6+ months. That is an absolute killer for a fixture like this. It would have been incredible to have him in there to deal with the pace of these players that Napoli have. Basically, every single one of their forwards is absolutely rapid. And then our other main injury is James Justin. It seems from the presser that basically everybody else is fit, which is really good. Now, the question I have for this game as to how badly do I think we will potentially get beat is it depends on our formation. I think if we go back to the 2 up top formation that we used throughout the second half of last season, where Iheanacho and Vardy sparked up this incredible partnership. You may even see like Iheanacho and Daka, and that would be really, really good to see. You'd have Pereira and Bertrand most likely, maybe Luke Thomas if they think that he's better as a wing-back than Bertrand, who is probably the better full-back. Those guys bombing down the lines, providing width and attack as well, especially with Ricky P looking back to his best. That may be the way forward. Now, Napoli, a lot of the time, you'll see them with a front 3. So 4-3-3 is a lot of time what they play. So if you do play 5 at the back, /3, then you can allow a man on each player if you do that with an extra one to help out with the defense. So it's tricky, but I really kind of hope that even if we don't do it in this game, that in the next few games we do start going back to that 2 up top formation, because we've basically gone back to a 4-3-3 ourselves, or a 4-2-3-1, whatever you want to call it. It slightly varies throughout the games. because Harvey Barnes is back from injury, but he hasn't been good. He's had pretty much a stinker to start the season so far in the first 4 games, so we shouldn't be forcing the formation because he's back from injury, when every time Kelechi has played so far, he's looked significantly better. He should be starting. He deserves it right now. And I think we should be giving chances to these players that we signed for big money, like Daka and Soumare. Do you put them in against Napoli? It's a tricky one. Daka, we know his pace, we know his qualities. Could he be utilised against someone that is more about brute physicality like Koulibaly? Yeah, he's not insanely slow, don't get me wrong, but he is more about that just dominance at the back. So it's very hard for me to predict the exact scoreline because I don't know whether this is the game where Brendan, after what he came out and said about players getting dropped if they don't perform well, maybe this is the match where he decides, okay, Harvey, you've not been good enough. Our right side hasn't been good enough. We're switching to 2 up top. This will be more effective. If we do that, I think we have a much better chance. But I don't believe that we will. I think we'll play with our normal formation of a 4-3-3/4-2-3-1/4-1-4-1, whatever it is. As I say, it changes throughout the game. I think that's what we're going to play today. I think Napoli will play a 4-3-3. We don't know who exactly is fully fit enough to start. Like, Insigne has just come back from an injury. Maybe he won't start. Mertens, we don't know right now. If they have their strongest 11, though, and we play a 4-3-3 or something of that variant, I think that they're going to have too much for us. And I think that they'll come out. I think it won't be an absolute dominance display like an Ajax last night. That was incredible. Haller with 4 goals, by the way. But I think we will lose if we play that formation. I think we'll lose about 2-0. I think will be my prediction for Napoli to win. If we play a 3-5-2, I think there's a chance, you know. I think, you know what, we'll be optimistic today. If we play a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-1-2, whichever one of the two, I think we win. Very, very narrowly, 1-0. But if we play the formation that we have been playing this season, I think we lose 2-0. So those are my predictions for this Napoli game, and that is my mini preview. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. The vlog of this game will be up tomorrow at some point in the afternoon, hopefully without me being completely and utterly miserable. But we know that the atmosphere is going to be incredible, and hopefully the game as well. So if you did enjoy this, thumb it up, subscribe. I'll see you for the vlog tomorrow. Goodbye.